Hello, and welcome to this episode of NeuroRestorative Radio. My name is Tommy Treadway, and I'll be your host. I have Scott Kruczek joining me today to discuss the specialized training that staff receive at NeuroRestorative. Scott is the Director of Training and Employee Engagement of NeuroRestorative and has over 24 years of experience in brain injury rehabilitation. Welcome, Scott. Please tell us about some of the specialized training projects you are currently involved in.
Hey there, Tommy. Well, I got to tell you, I'm really excited to talk about a few different initiatives that we have going on. We have Train the Trainer events for our frontline trainers right now, which is a course that we've been developing for folks who are currently engaged in offering trainings to our direct care staff. And what we found is that those folks, just because you're a trainer does not necessarily mean that you're, a good trainer or great at public speaking or controlling a crowd. So this training series that we developed, I lovingly call it Razzle Dazzle. And it's we do some improv during the class, some telling of jokes. They make commercials about just random objects within a room. We laugh, we cry. It's a great time. Another thing that we have going on is our revised crisis management training. Now, throughout NeuroRestorative, we use various types of crisis management training. And one of them that we use that's the most popular is through the Crisis Prevention Institute, or CPI. CPI is an out-of-the-box training series. One of the benefits that CPI extends to its instructors is that there's still room to modify, to add in. Probably add in is a better way to describe it. Add in, the agency's spin on pieces of information. And CPI can, the material can be incredibly dry depending on the presenter, but it can be incredibly engaging as well. So my goal that I set for myself this year is to work with our current CPI instructors to make it the absolute best, most engaging experience that we possibly can have. And one of the ways that I'm doing that is to start off by creating an evaluation tool that staff can complete after they've taken a CPI class that has some pretty specific questions on not just the material, but on the presenter and if they really did get anything out of the training.
So with an organization the size of NeuroRestorative, what challenges do you face in training and employee engagement across all 21 states, and how do you overcome those challenges?
That is a great question, Tommy. My position is focused out of the north, right? So the states that I currently touch are the New England states. So we've got Maine, New Hampshire, Massachusetts, Rhode Island, Pennsylvania. I'm starting to touch Minnesota, Carbondale, Illinois, and Ohio. And I think it's not just the size, but one of the areas that makes it a challenge is the varying licensing bodies that each of our states follow. There's some standard rules of thumb. This first aid and CPR orientation process. For the most part, those are all the same. But very quickly, those, it splinters off from there. Medication training, how to administer medication is not the same in Massachusetts. That training is not the same in Massachusetts as it would be for the state of New Hampshire or even in Maine or in Pennsylvania. So making sure that we're following our licensing requirements is probably more complicated than anything else. One of the ways that we overcome that is, my position is at the street corners of QI, our quality improvement folks, our HR department, and operations. So in essence, this role, this Director of Training and Employee Engagement, is at the center directing the traffic from each of those specialty areas. At least that's the vision that I see.
Which upcoming training project are you most excited about?
That has got to be the QBIS training. That's hot off the presses, Tommy. QBISP stands for Qualified Brain Injury Support Provider. And it was started a few years back by Dr. Austin Errico out of Maine. He's a neuropsych out there. He had been working on this program for quite some time to be equivalent curriculum to the CBIS course, the Certified Brain Injury Specialist course. It was approved by the state of Maine not that long ago, back in December of 2013, and is currently the primary training mechanism for ABI services in Maine. And it has since morphed itself into this larger training program that we're looking to to access in other states. We recently had a Train the Trainer series in Florida where about a dozen of us flew in and took the Train the Trainer course. So we're now able to teach Dr. Erico's curriculum within NeuroRestorative. And the hope is that within the next year, we'll have at least a dozen classes under our belt so we can evaluate whether or not this training series is something that we want to fully commit to as an agency.
Thank you, Scott, and thank you to everyone for joining us today on NeuroRestorative Radio. For more information about NeuroRestorative, please visit us at neurorestorative.com and consider signing up for our Neuro Institute, which offers free 1-hour online CEU opportunities every month. You can find more information about Neuro Institute at neurorestorative.com/institute. Until next time, thanks for joining us.